Hello and welcome to a new video, and in this week's video I'm gonna talk about the different types of airsoft that you have all around the world. Well, at least the ones that I know of. Well, this topic will be an open conversation that I will need your help with. So if you have any remarks or comments or whatever, just post them in the comments or send me something on Facebook because this is something that I want to talk about. Now, I was thinking about this topic because I had to make some categories on the Airsoft United website, and I needed to split up airsoft in a few different categories so people could find it more easily. Now, to start off this video, I want to show you and explain you what types of airsoft you have around the world and what they stand for. And every category or type has also some subcategories or subtypes. Now, and after I give you my opinion on the different categories, I will give you my opinion on why certain types of airsoft clash with each other on the fields and why they shouldn't. Maybe first some history about where my opinion is coming from. I have been playing for 15 years in Belgium, and the last 5, 6, 7 years I have been playing outside of Belgium. So most of the knowledge is coming from the Belgium airsoft community, so that might differ a little bit for different countries. When I started playing airsoft 15 years ago, you didn't have that different categories, you just had airsoft. There were some guys that liked to dress up more than others, and you had the guys that went for the minimalistic gear, but you played the same type of game. There were different organizers, but the game types were usually the same. And there was not really a box where you could put the player in. But with the last few years, boxes started to appear, and people identified themselves as a Milsim player, as a Speed player, or any other category that I will explain in a minute. And because people didn't feel accepted or they didn't find their jam in the things that were already there, new things started to pop up. But because you had that splintering of all the airsoft types, there isn't really like an organized structure anymore. And with this video, I want to show you the different types and how they are connected to each other. And when I try to make like categories, I reach out to something that already exists. And I found this in the music industry. You have all those different kind of music genres, and they all are somewhere related to each other, but they all have their different boxes. Like you have your rock, your metal, your hip hop, but the boxes or the genres also flow over in each other. Like you have metal with hip hop influences, you have rock with classical influences, and that is something that went up really well for the airsoft types. So I use that to form the categories for airsoft. And with all those categories, subcategories, substyles, styles, it's really a pile of chaos to find your way into the world of airsoft. And one of the most asked questions from players is, what rifle do I need to buy to start playing airsoft? Well, that question is not that easy anymore because every style can have a different type of rifle. And if you ask a player what is Milsim or what is Speedsoft, he will give you a different answer depending on what countries he's from or what community he's playing in. So yeah, it's really a big thing of chaos, and yeah, let's try to put some categories in order and put some structure in it. And it's really important that in this video, this is my opinion on how I see the styles. And again, I want to communicate with you. I want to discuss this with you so we can have some kind of structure around the world and yeah, make it more easy to new players to find their way in this big pile of chaos that is called airsoft those days. So we'll start off with splitting it up in the main categories. So the top thing is airsoft. And let's start with Milsim. I will not go into detail about that yet, I will just give you some categories. You have Speedsoft. And you have target shooting. Just call it target. And those are the main three categories that you have in airsoft today. So in the Milsim category you have film sim. I will explain them a little bit later. Film sim, Mil-X, historical, big games, tuck sim, ball sim, and many more. In the Speedsoft category, you have Speedball, Speed QB, European Speed League, and more. On the target shooting thingy, you have the fun shooting, you have IPSCAA, IEPS, and some things that I don't know of. And those are some of the types and subtypes that you have in airsoft. Now I will explain a little bit what I understand with the main categories in Airsoft. So that's the Milsim, the Speedsoft, and the target shooting type. Now Milsim, let's put this here, Milsim. Now in Milsim, the word says it, it's a military simulation thing that you do. So you try to be as real as possible. You will use 1-to-1 scale replicas for the event that you're going to. You will wear the clothes that fit the event that you're going to, so camouflage or civilian clothes, depending if it's a civilian faction or not. So the clothing is depending on the event that you're going to. The games that you play are mission driven, so I'm just gonna call it mission. So the last one, there is some kind of structure. So there's somebody that will give the missions and somebody else that will perform the missions. Now the next category is Speedsoft. Now Speedsoft is something totally different. This is based on the competition, and everything that the player uses is a tool to win that competition, to be as good as possible in that competition according to the rules of that competition. So if I write here rifle, oh my god, I can't write anymore, rifle, clothing, it's all to win that competition. Everything that you use during that competition is a tool to win that competition. The clothes that they are wearing are also based on being as good in that competition as possible. So it doesn't really matter what colors you wear or how it looks like, it has to be comfortable to reach that goal of winning that competition. And the final category, that's target. That's really easy, shooting at targets, where time and accuracy is measured to win a competition or a game. Okay, let's go over the substyles really fast because there are more, and those are the things that I know. So film sim is trying to replicate a movie as good as possible. You can play Black Hawk Down, you can play Platoon, you can play any style, but the base idea is playing a movie and playing that as good as possible. The Mil-X thing is military exercise, and that is it's less airsofty, but it's more focused on military stuff, doing long walks, doing survival stuff. It's hard, it's hardcore, not focused on the shooting, but more on the experience. Historical, that's going back in time, that's World War II Airsoft, Vietnam Airsoft, World War I have seen that, that's pretty awesome. Big games, that is something like Burgud, Border Wars, there's some kind of structure going on, a lot of players, a lot of chaos, a lot of big battles, I love them. Tac sim, that's tactical simulation, that is a phrase that has been used for the something in between Milsims. Pol sim, that's police simulation, that's hostage situations, that's responding to bomb threats and stuff like that. Then on the Speedsoft thing, you have Speedball, that is played mostly in France from what I've heard, and that's with the blow up cushions. Speed Kubie is a thing where you have a lot of obstacles in the middle, 5 players on each side, they have to start against the wall and try to get a flag or eliminate the other players, or I think press a button, I'm not sure about that. And then the European Speed League, that is something similar, but they play in teams of 4 and they remove the flag if I'm not incorrect. And then you have some other things that I don't know. Then fun shooting, that is something just having fun and shooting targets with your friends. Then you got the IPSC AA, that is the equivalent of the IPSC from the real rifle thingies where they shoot the thing with real rifles. They just converted it to Airsoft. And then the IEPS, that's something similar to IPSC but with a little bit of different rule book. And I know there are different styles, so if you know more or your country uses different names, just let me know in the comments. And if you go to an event with that style or substyle, you know what to expect from it. And that doesn't mean if you like Milsim that you can go to a Speedsoft event. It only means that you have to follow the rules for those types of events. And if you read all the rules, you know what to expect from it and obey those rules. It's really simple and really important. It's the spirit of the rule that's important here. It's not the written rule and try to like fine-tune the rules so you can use it in your advantage. No, try to understand why the rule is written and follow that rule. And if you have any questions, just ask the organizer or ask a marshal or a referee or whatever you call it in your country. Ask a question and you will get your answer. Now the problem with all those different styles is that every player in that style has his own mindset on how the game should be played. And when you mix those things, this is where the problems start to occur. And this is how we can come to an open event. Well, in Belgium it's called an open event, and it is open for everyone. Every playstyle is welcome, so you can do whatever you want, as long as you follow the rules for that event. And you can see on those events, Milsim players carrying around 20 kilos of material, and on the other side you have the Milsim players that are carrying almost nothing. And yeah, they have to play together in the same area, and they have to complete the missions for that day. And because players are coming from different styles or categories, they're not used to play against a team that is not in their mindset, and they have different ideas on how the game should be played. It's really simple to avoid that. You have to try to get into the mindset of the players that you are playing against. If you're going to an open event, you can't argue with a guy that he plays the playstyle that he wants to play. It's according to the rules. Same as me, if I want to play with 20 kilos of material, it's up to me to do that. It's not the other player's fault that I will be a little bit slower than him or faster, depending on the guy that I'm playing against. You have to try to understand what you're playing against or who you're playing against and adapt to the style that he's playing, so you can change your ways of playing Airsoft to the ways that he is attacking you, so you can counter their moves instead of thinking in your own IDs and your own style. And don't get frustrated because the guy is not playing according your IDs of how Airsoft should be played. Now lately there is a bigger interest in events where styles can play against each other and try to beat them in a controlled environment. Battle Arena that was held in Finland a few years ago, that's one of the good examples, with a good structure and with some good rule books that you can have those teams play against each other in a controlled environment. It's an event open for all styles, and the rule book is made out of things that you can find in the rule books of different styles, and they are mixed together to create something new. Now I tried to make something like a graphical thing to show you how the styles relate to each other, so I'll try to do that right now. So if you have Airsoft, like start with Airsoft again. Yes, my handwriting is very bad, I know. Now let's start off with this. This is Milsim. Another category that you have is the Speedsoft. And there you have Target. Now in the middle of all that, this area, this is an open event where everybody can go to. This graphic is not perfect. I'm still thinking of a way on portraying that to different people. The first graphic that I made, I just put all the circles away from each other because there was almost no overlap in that. But that's not true. You have tactics flowing over from Milsim to Speedsoft and the other way, like support gunners. You have support gunners in Milsim, but you also have support gunners in Speedsoft. And there are also things flowing over from target shooting to Speedsoft. For example, making your pistol or your rifle as short as possible to be as fast as possible. And even in the target and Milsim thingy, there are things going away in both directions. You can train for different scenarios in that. For example, clearing buildings. You can shoot the targets, and that is flowing over from target shooting to Milsim. And as you can see, a lot of the things are coming back in different categories. But I wanted to categorize it a little bit so it's a lot easier for new players to find their way into Airsoft. And to end off this video, I want to give you one more thing, and that is everything comes down with having respect for everybody and everything around you. If you have respect for people and environment, you will have not that many problems anymore. Just respect the way he's playing, the way he likes to play, and have respect for the rules from the event that you're going to. We're all here to have fun and have a good time and enjoy ourselves for the weekend or day or whenever you want to go to play. We are not here to hurt people, we are just here to have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And that respect is what breaks or makes a game. So guys, have a good time, enjoy your game, learn a little bit from the different play styles and substyles that there are in the world. And if you have anything to say about it, just leave me something in the comments or send me something on Facebook or on Instagram. I don't really matter, just talk to me about it because I really enjoy talking about this subject. But for now, I will be ending off this video because I have been talking way too long about this topic, and I'm really curious on what you think about it. So let me know, and I'll see you all next week for a new video. Bye!